Thank you.
I was gonna say it, Avery.
Sorry.
They're cheering for me.
Oh.
And then they slow down.
Is that how you cheer yourself on
I feel like the
daily?
applause should be because we're here, Rush.
Yeah, I mean, I'm back.
Yeah, you're here all the time, Megan.
Yeah, okay.
We're back.
But
Welcoming-
not every episode like you and Avery.
Welcoming our special guest today,
Avery.
Reshma Rani Bangar.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah. It's not your episode, though.
Nope.
None of us are in charge except for the chosen one.
Harry Potter.
Yep. The most Harry Potter lookalike. The most British looking person we have on staff here. Avery Snyder running the show today.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yep. Excited to be back with you guys after 2 weeks. I think 2.5 weeks. Long time. Anyway, hot dog. I'm feeling positively excited about the
Positive vibes.
toxins leaving my body.
Okay.
Cleansing.
Okay.
We're on
all
broth
right.
stage now.
And Avery's going to take over
right,
because of
Talk
that.
about
Avery, what are we talking about?
Toxic positivity.
What is that?
Oh, my God.
Or if you say it enough, you'll end up saying toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity.
That's what we keep saying. Yeah, toxic positivity. It's
Define it.
okay.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Is this her show or yours? Let me know.
I let her. I lend the keys, but I still.
You can have your mic back, Avery.
Yeah.
We'll take his away if he doesn't stop.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Avery.
Okay, so this definition is from a TED Talk.
Say his name.
Do it.
I'm gonna give it my best shot here. Muhammad Kader.
Mahmoud
That was pretty
Kader.
good.
Yeah.
That was it.
Reshma? Was that
Yes,
good?
I
Okay.
confirm. It sounds brown.
And he is the co-founder and CEO of Flora Mind, which is it's a mental health association. That,
Interesting name. Floramind.
Yeah.
Plant
it is
plant
interesting.
brain.
Yes, plant brain. Growth.
Not to be confused with Flora, Mississippi.
Which we are
Nor would we
just
ever.
miles from.
Yeah.
So we're going to be kind of referencing some of his TED Talk. You should look it up if you have a moment. It's really good. But his definition of it is toxic positivity is the push for a mental state in which we only experience and show positive emotions. It is a tendency to react to our own or others' suffering and struggles with reductive statements of positivity.
So, what are the ramifications of doing that to your friends?
Yeah, so if it'd be like you sitting in a crisis with someone and you're just telling them to look on the bright side. And in the moment, that is really invalidating of what they're going through. You're pretty much just you're telling them not to be feeling what they're feeling, and
What if their feelings aren't helpful? Is that up for you
Helpful
to
for
decide?
them or for somebody else?
I don't know. I'm just playing devil's
Devil's
advocate.
Well, you're doing a great job there.
I think
Megan, help me out
the
here.
biggest risk there, for lack of a better word,
Great game.
is that when it's a major issue that someone is going through, a big struggle that they're having, when we say look on the bright side or just choose to not really validate their feelings, that's when kind of they're trying to seek help by sharing their feelings, and if we don't validate those, then we cut off that opportunity for them, and they might not seek help, and then the issue could just get worse and worse and worse.
And I think focusing too on knowing that people's feelings are their feelings for a reason and not trying to filter out, no, you should feel this way about something is the big picture of
What
all
are the
of it.
reasons for their feelings? Like what gives
Somebody
validity
negative.
to have a negative emotion? Like what's the benefit of that?
I think it's necessary to acknowledge the negative emotions in order for you to move on from it and find a solution.
Like a grieving kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Like when you have people tell you, "Oh, you're gonna be, so much stronger from this. You're gonna get through this," but the only way to do that is to acknowledge what you're feeling. You can't be stronger from something from just ignoring what's
But
going
Avery,
on.
God gives his biggest
Strongest.
battles to his strongest warriors. Don't
And
you
he
know
doesn't
it?
give you more than you can handle.
No.
Right, right, yes.
Come on.
Yeah, and so that is something I do want to kind of dive into is how Christians use toxic positivity to ignore what people are going through. And I think there is there's kind of a as Christians, it can be portrayed that, okay, so like we have this relationship with God. So our life is happy. We're never going to have bad days.
I love everything you're saying.
Yeah,
right now.
life is going to be easy.
Sign me up.
Which,
Chase's world.
which
Huzzah.
sounds great. I mean, you want to convince people to come to Jesus, and like something that sounds nice is by saying, oh, well, everything's going to be fine. But that's really not biblical or true at all. I mean, there is so much suffering in the Bible, and that is where Jesus really shows his hope and healing and power. And so I think it's ignorant as Christians to ignore negative emotions and just try and see the bright side of everything. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, growing up in maybe like the southern area, I guess to be safe with it, we're taught that like fear and anxiety and sadness and depression cannot coexist with faith. But obviously that's like the biggest myth, because if you look throughout scripture, throughout Jesus's life, throughout anybody that followed him, all of those things were there. They're like, why? They're asking why questions. They're asking, where are you, God? Like, when are you going to show up? Why have you chosen me to suffer? And like, how long do I have to suffer? Even Jesus, to his end days, we're asking those things. So I don't think that we as Christians should, one, for ourselves, not accept like the grace that's given, but also like we are humans. We are supposed to feel these things. We're supposed to, yes, grow from these things, but if we don't have those experiences, we can't help others get through things. So like Avery and I have been friends for a while, so we obviously deal with emotion completely different. Like Chase and I are probably a little bit more alike,
Yeah, I
and
was about
Megan
to
and I
say-
are a lot alike as far as like get stuff done, don't focus on it, which sounds like the toxic positivity trait, but not portraying that on other people. But then also like understanding like, Avery, you were built the way you were built because you also can help people who are built that way, that are going to have those days where you can't really put your finger like on it. Why am I sad? Why do I feel like this? Where for me, and I think for us, I mean, definitely tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Like, we're just like, we're going to push through, not because we're like, we have to see the good, but like we have to get things done. And if we don't, we're going to feel worse almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the struggle I have is that it almost, the flip side is that it almost feels like the diagnosis for me is that I am underdeveloped emotionally when I hear these things, which I don't think is true. So I don't know. I think that's why I struggle with it, because I get that people's personalities are different and the way they process is different.
Yes.
I just, whenever I hear this, sometimes it makes me feel like a lesser person because I can, I guess, process it quicker. If that's even the correct way to say that. Am I making sense?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and for you, that's processing it quicker. But for me, like, obviously being a little bit more vulnerable, I'm not so much processing it, I'm stuffing it. And another day it's going to come up to me processed.
There's a difference there.
So yeah, with everybody's personality, like it's not that I'm better because I've like stuffed it. It's that if I don't get this done and focus on that, it's going to explode. But eventually it explodes. It may just show up in shopping or eating or whatever that looks like, because I'm telling myself like, you have to get through it. It's going to be okay. Like, look for the good. While that is essential, and like, yes, I want to see the bigger picture and like what's good coming out of it, I think that sometimes I portray that on other people. Like, why can't you just like be okay? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, take it out of like mental health. Like, if someone is dying of a heart attack, you're not going to be like, well, you know, your lungs are good. So just focus on that. You know, you've got to
Yeah,
get
that's
a
a good picture of that.
diagnosis and like take the steps needed to get better.
You're still
and,
not going to
like,
make it, but the other organs are good.
I
fine.
think my problem with it comes from a very selfish standpoint. Is that I feel a lot of guilt when someone is not moving along as quickly as I can, and the fact that I am feeling okay and they're not. So I feel like it's inappropriate to feel okay around them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I get that.
But like great advice, lead pastor Ben Derrick, hopefully doesn't listen to this. Great advice he gave me one time is that, you know, and even in like specific to marriage, like it is okay for your wife to not be okay and you to be okay with a
Absolutely.
situation,
Definitely.
which I still greatly struggle with that. Not even just with Rachel, of whom I love, but general friendships and work relationships.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know. Yeah.
A book that we've been reading as a staff, it's called Emotionally Healthy Discipleship. And
Pete Scazzaro.
Yeah, he's great.
I like saying his name.
And something that I read the other day that I really loved was that, you know, our lives as Christians aren't going to be perfect, which we've already touched on. But I think something that's so powerful about Jesus' story is that we have hope because of the cross, and the cross is is the lens that we view hope through. And I think hope and even just joy is something that there's a certain type of joy that is experienced when you've also experienced the pain and sadness and the hard emotions. I think you have to have both of those to be able to fully experience joy. And even if you look, a great movie is Inside Out. And I
Yes.
think that is a great example of...
There's a reason Joy's the main character.
Well, that's the thing. I think that movie perfectly illustrates toxic positivity. Like, joy cannot be at the stick the whole time. You have to have anger. You have to have sadness. You have to have, disgust.
We would be lying if we didn't say anger is our favorite character. Absolutely the best.
Yeah.
Here's a thought I have, if that's okay. So we talked about kind of like Reshma, like full avoidance of the emotions. What is the flip side of like? I think I always use the term like wallowing, like staying in the negative emotion, because that's where like I feel most comfortable in the positive emotion. Some people feel more comfortable in the negative emotion. Like, what do you do in? Two questions. What do you do in that situation as the person in the emotions, the negative person? Well, that's the wrong negative emotions person, and then the friend that is trying to be a friend in the situation. Like, what's your place there in something like that?
Like you're asking
Both of those questions.
Yeah. So, I mean, as someone who has been on both spectrums of the avoiding and sitting in the emotions for too long, I tend to be on the staying in the negative emotions for too long. And I think there is a very small gray area between the two, and it's really hard to find sometimes, especially when you lean really heavy to one end of the spectrum. But I think the point when staying in your negative emotions too long is harmful is whenever you start to get to the why questions, like why does this always happen? And you kind of create a cycle there of suffering for yourself. And something that Megan and I were talking about, and I think it was in the TED Talk, was that you don't have to, that every emotion serves a purpose, but that doesn't mean you have to act on every emotion that you feel. I don't know if you wanted to elaborate more on that, Megan.
Yeah, like the way he explained it in the TED Talk, and it made a lot of sense, is that emotions are data, but they're not directives. And like emotions are
What does that
valid.
mean?
So we have all of these emotions, like the feelings wheel. We've talked about that before.
Great wheel, good colors.
Yes, and it has all of the colors, and you think you're just sad, but then when you look at all of the emotions that feed off of sadness, what those are. But just because I'm angry at a situation doesn't mean that I have to go act on that anger. I can sit in that anger and I can process that anger. I can figure out why I feel that way.
But you can't stay there.
I can clean until I'm exhausted and, and figure it out, but I can't stay there. I have to move past that. I can't just sit in it forever, because if I choose to sit in it forever, then how will I reflect on everyone else?
Question: what is your husband Mike's role in that situation? Like, what are your expectations of your husband when you're processing through those emotions?
So he used to really struggle with the fact that he couldn't fix something if I was feeling it strongly. And I'm sure as a fellow husband, you get that.
Preach.
But for him, he always knows when I'm upset or bothered by something, and vice versa. But his role now is he'll always say, I'm here. If you need to talk about it, he'll ask me questions to get me going. And then sometimes he'll just step back because he knows that I need to take a minute and process my feelings. And I'll eventually talk to him about it. But he doesn't try to get too involved unless I open up the conversation,
Yeah.
because I am a processor.
Something that is really helpful for me, and something that I try to do for other people when other people are struggling, is just asking questions. And if they're not necessarily looking for advice or for you to fix it, even though I know that's like what your initial instinct is, especially when you care so deeply for someone and you want to see them feel better. I know that's so difficult. But I think in the moment, the most helpful thing is to help that person feel validated and understood. And asking them questions can help them verbally process and kind of understand their feelings. And I think that helps free up space for them to assess the situation and figure out, okay, I'm feeling this because of this, and this is what I need to do. And I think they can get to that from the processing.
And I think like one of the main questions, and you can see it on charts and all that type of stuff, any type of counseling, like that's how the conversation starts. Like when you start addressing a problem, you get down to the root of it, not because you want to give advice, but like, hey, we've been here before. What's caused this before, and how did you get out of it before? How can we work towards those things instead of, it's going to be okay. It always turns out okay. Okay, maybe it will. But what if it doesn't? Let's talk about why we keep coming back to this place. What is the root of it? Because typically in any well, actually not typically, all the time in all the situations, we are like the factor that's always there. So like, what are we doing that we can change? Not even so much. I listen to a lot of videos. Obviously, I don't listen to podcasts because I need to see your face, but I listen to a lot of videos.
Obviously.
And okay, it's weird to some people. I don't care. I read a lot of books, and like my core motivators and like people that are, I guess, mentors that aren't like real mentors, would be people that are like, just get up and do something about it, like change yourself, like that kind of stuff. However, that doesn't work. And the flip side of it, in the middle of like a hard situation. So I wouldn't go up to you and be like, Avery, you were the problem, so let's figure it out. But we are the only ones that we can change. We're the only ones that we can like somewhat fix, I guess, to the situation. So if you're in a toxic situation, yes, you can separate yourself from that. But what's the work that you can do to make sure you don't like portray that trauma or toxic traits onto somebody else that you've encountered from a relationship with somebody else, whether it be in childhood, whether it be in adult friendships or whatever that is. Like, you have to figure out how it rooted in you, what emotions you felt, and how you can work through that, I think, going forward. Wow, that was a lot of, I feel like that was like an amen in church.
Amen.
Bread. I don't have anything else to say.
Just
That all
bread.
sounds great. Good advice.
I think you made a good point about like the way that we handle things now. A lot of it is rooted in our childhood and our upbringing and the things that we learned either from parents or just that we were taught growing up in church. And we're trying to get past that. So I think, like, how does the church help push past this toxic positivity and this falsehood of everything's great and everything's okay? I think we're trying to do that here at Vertical.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the leaders here, we all are pretty open about our struggles and that we're not perfect people. But how do we continue to help the people coming through the doors that either grew up in that or felt that or are scared to process their emotions, but they're there?
I think it's just being real as ourselves, being vulnerable, which I know is hard, but I mean, people are gonna want to open up more to people who are real instead of people that look like they have all their life together. Because be like, well, no, I can't tell them this about me because I mean their life is perfect, you know. And I think just acknowledging that, which I mean we've said it over and over again, that negative emotions aren't necessarily something to feel guilty about, and that it's a very biblical thing. I mean, it's in scripture. I mean, look at Psalms. There are so many times in the Bible where people are just in despair, but they have to acknowledge that to move on. And I think just learning that even just internally, that negative emotions aren't something that should make us uncomfortable. And I think that's hard because that's what we've all been, not all, but especially in the South, have been taught that, oh, like you're angry, that's uncomfortable, or, you know, sadness is uncomfortable. I think trying to move past that is important. And I think also toxic positivity, we can learn that internally to ourselves. I know I found myself saying, oh, I shouldn't be sad about this. Like, I need to be happy. And I mean, ultimately, that's just you are invalidating your own feelings, and it can just be a cycle in itself.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have anything to add to that.
I would say, as far as like your initial question, just like how the church can help. I know that, I mean, we talk about all the time, just like using accountability and having those friendships and stuff. I think that that's a key role. Not everybody wants to like share when they're feeling sad or lonely or triggered or angry, but if you have those people, like that's obviously a safety net that you can fall back onto. And so when you are either avoiding or sitting in something too long, those people can call you out either way. Like, have you actually took the time to process this? Like, have you sat in it? Have you learned from it? Are you growing from it? Or the opposite effect of, hey, like, I know you've been down for a while, but like, what are some things that we can do that do bring you joy, that do like make you want to wake up and like get out of bed the next day? Like those small things, like what are things that we can help each other with in that? And so like, as far as leadership in the church, like you said, we are very open and honest and transparent. But I think too, this may sound like backhanded almost, but like, I think we do a great job of not enabling anymore, because I think in the church, like leadership is looked at as, why aren't you helping me? Like, this is the problem. Why am I? Well, it's flipping it and like saying, hey, these are the things that you've brought. Like, we'll walk with you. We will sit with you while you feel these things. But like, we cannot fix the problem. We cannot fix that negative emotion. We can't even like get to it and see the root of it. We don't know the full history. Most of the people walking in the doors here and listening worldwide, we don't know personally, you know, their story. So it is opening up, sharing those stories with those accountability people so that you can say, hey, you just said this and it reminded me of maybe some trauma that you talked about, you know, at a young age. Maybe that's rooted. Can we work through that? It's basically counseling, but just in like smaller
Go to
forms.
therapy.
Yes, also
Yes,
go to therapy.
Also therapy.
Oh, that's a great point to end on. Way to go, Chase.
Everyone should go to therapy.
Unless you have more to say, Avery. I just wanted to be the end.
That's all I got, unless y'all have anything to add.
Hot dog, I did it. Way to go, me. All right, Avery, it's still your segment, so even though you dominated the last one.
I thought that said aua.
Yay! Reshma listens.
Thanks,
Yay!
I don't.
Oh.
But I read it.
That's what we call it.
It is.
Wow, our
Oh.
faithful listener, Reshma.
Thanks, Reshma.
She's listening to,
Always
like,
listening to us.
one
Well,
of
I just
them.
have to see somebody's face when they're talking to me, or I don't believe them.
That's why we have.
But you should definitely listen to the Vertical
What a
Podcast. It's
weird-
meant to-
You can watch
What
it
a
on
weird
the
trait.
YouTube
Thanks, Reshma.
and see everybody.
If I can't see your face, you might be lying to me.
I mean,
Interesting.
past trauma.
Trauma.
Don't be toxic positivity. I'm kidding.
Don't text Reshma.
Trust versus suspicion.
Come to her
Resh.
house.
Oh God.
Address is 107.
Avery.
Oh, yeah.
So
Avery, go.
I'm going. These lovely questions were.
I didn't read them. I'm ready
Sponsored
to be
by-
surprised.
Well, are from my lovely mother-in-law. Shout out to Miss Laura.
so
if
we're
you
not
are-
doing anonymous this time.
Oh, these are anonymous from my mother-in-law.
I've never met your mom.
In-law.
So there we go.
It, okay.
I've never met your
Mom-in-law.
mom-in-law.
She's cool.
I have
Mama,
met her.
mom-in-law.
You have
She was
Megan's
very
met.
kind.
Yeah. Shout out to Laura. Okay.
Miss Laura.
Mrs. Laura. What
Is that what you call your mother-in-law?
Mrs. or Miss Laura?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
I don't do that. What's up, Bill?
And say Bill. I don't know.
I call mine mom.
I was taught this thing
Oh,
called
that's fun.
manners.
Ooh.
I call her mom because she told me to.
I'm an adult.
I'm the daughter she never had.
I don't know what's happening. Question 1.
What old person things do you do?
Define old.
Yes, somebody define old.
I'm not going to. I'm too
We're all
scared,
scared.
now.
Well, if
Nose
your
goes.
mother-in-law asked it, I feel like she was thinking like elder,
Elder.
I got
like
one.
her elder.
Okay. Yeah.
At least the
maybe.
first one. I'll probably
You go
think of
first.
more.
A lot
There's
of
so
things that
many
you do are
things.
old.
Yeah, things that I do, or
too.
just things about me. Because my
All
knees
of the
ache when it
above.
Things
rains.
do you do?
My knees, fingers,
Okay,
and
not
ankles.
no
ache
things
when
that
I
you
rain.
do,
Oh, okay.
not your body.
All right, so I think
You
because
are
I'm
your
a
body.
guy and
Oh
I
my
do
God.
this is what makes it kind of old manish.
Something about your yard.
No, heavens no. If I'm lounging around the house, I will have a blanket on me.
Wait, I
Do you have like
that.
slippers?
That's
and
why
because
I
you're
said
a
'cause
guy.
I'm a guy.
Okay.
Guys that do that, I think it's
Yes, slippers or no slippers. Let us know.
Oh, buddy. All right, I'm very
get
proud
up.
of it. Rachel hates these, but I'm very proud of them.
Crocs.
No, better. Do you guys know about the no slip shoes that like fry cooks wear and stuff?
Yes,
Yes.
actually, Rachel's told me
They
about this.
sell them at Academy and they're waterproof, and so therefore they're the
You sit
perfect.
at your house with shoes?
No, sometimes it depends on what I'm doing.
Oh,
If it's cold,
If I'm cleaning my house, I have to have shoes on.
but no
Yeah,
slip
same.
tennis shoes?
Oh no, not those. Just tennis shoes.
I got the no slip ones because they're waterproof, so I can walk outside no matter what's going on. No, not all slip.
But
He is
but-
prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wins.
but when it's raining outside on regular days, you go outside in different shoes.
Yeah, because I'm not lounging.
Okay.
They're my lounge shoes.
I'm just trying to understand.
Anyways.
We're spending a lot of time on these shoes of mine.
Next old person trait.
Avery?
I don't know. I guess I don't know if this is an old person thing though. I don't know.
You talk slow.
Yes, maybe. Depends. Let's skip me. Come back to me, please.
You had the questions well before all of us.
I know.
Okay. Just some accountability.
I make sure to get my steps in. I feel like that's kind of an old person thing because you see them at the mall walking around getting their
My
laps.
neighborhood.
That's a really old person thing, but also I do a lot of things that are old person things. I wear fuzzy socks to sleep. I feel like old people are always cold.
I think you like knickknacks.
I do like a knick-knack.
It's kind of old.
But I'm not like attached to it, but yes, I do like
no,
to
no,
have
no.
a
I
little
think you
knick-knack.
just like the vibe of it.
Yes.
Like you have cool knickknacks, but the idea of knickknacks, I feel like it's kind of old.
Knickknacks.
Wow, I never thought about it.
Am I wrong? Feels kind of old womanish.
Yeah.
Knickknacks. I like the yard sale shop.
This feels really boring right now.
Megan?
I
Are we
can't really
boring?
like.
I don't know.
Maybe
is
that's the
hard.
old person thing we all do.
I have to have a cup of coffee every morning, like to
No,
get going. But I feel
no,
like
that's
that's
You're
hipster.
with the
normal.
millennials now.
Like I have one in bed. My husband brings it to me every morning.
Oh, I
That's-
know.
Did you just Google
And
it?
I used to have to eat oatmeal every day, and I called it my old lady
What was that?
breakfast, but-
Oh,
Yeah.
what
I mean,
was the
aside from
email
that-
thing?
I only eat oatmeal at Grant's
Oh.
house, really. So
Aw.
that kind of fits.
Yeah.
I feel like an 18-year-old wrote this, first of all.
For sure.
Wow, we're having two separate conversations.
No,
live.
I googled
Still about
old
old
person
things.
things for
Okay,
ideas.
so read them off and let's see who does them.
Well, all of those were not
There
very
are 40
old.
of them, so.
Oh, don't read them all off.
One thing I do
Dude.
is I sometimes eat dinner very early, like
How early? is-
4.
Ooh.
She does.
Oh.
Indeed.
What
time do you go to
It's
bed?
weird.
Like
But is that
Midnight.
first dinner?
Do you
Like, do you eat
snack
again?
later?
Sometimes.
But sometimes not.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I usually do snack, but it's usually something small.
Gee, yeah, I don't think that's old womanish though, because you snack later. Old woman goes to bed at 8 after she eats at 4.
Denise.
I'm always cold. Is that an
Calling
old
on you.
person
She's
thing?
not
Yeah.
listening. It's fine.
I don't know. Okay, let's
This is a hard question.
move on.
Yeah.
Unless you're me.
What skills do you have that would be beneficial during a zombie apocalypse?
Your mother-in-law asked this.
Yes.
So she believes that
Walking
there will
Dead.
be.
I've watched The Walking Dead.
There are absolutely bacteria that cause zombie traits that just haven't found their way to
Oh
humans
my
yet.
god.
So now you have to live with that information.
Zombie apocalypse.
Skills that I have. I'd make a mean video.
Man,
So-
I would want to be with Rushma during a zombie
I
apocalypse.
was gonna say, I
would?
feel like I
Megan.
could take out
We
some
are
zombies.
now
I'm
certified
not, I'm
to
not
shoot.
looking
I
to
was gonna
fight.
say, and a great shot. However, you can't kill a zombie with a shot. Remember,
You can if you shoot them in the head.
Oh.
on The Walking Dead, you couldn't. You had to like rip off their heads.
Well, I mean, it'd have to be in their
Skills
head.
they
Oh, I
wouldn't
got it,
have
yeah.
knowing anything about zombies.
Which I don't know if I'm. Well, I don't know if I'm that good yet at the shot, but I could
Also,
definitely-
I can survive with little things, so we
Yeah.
can just find a
Yeah.
little camp, hang out.
Yeah, I could eat the same thing every day.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good skill to have for a zombie apocalypse.
I'm
Is
great
that
at
your
other
skill?
people.
Is that your skill? Like that's what you're landing on?
Eat.
Well, yeah, I'm
The
not gonna
same.
join some big communion, so I'm looking out
I'm
for
also
me.
very simple to please as far as eating. So
We would have a compound going with plenty of ammo,
I don't want.
Yeah,
What skills
you
do
do,
I
yeah.
have?
and we could camp. I'm a great camper.
Megan, I feel like you would
Mama bear mode.
you would figure out you would go mama bear mode and figure out the best like process. Like we would have a plan and who does what and you would be in charge of that.
I feel like live
Let's
on air,
certainly
I'm
try.
coming to terms that I would die pretty early in the zombie apocalypse. So,
okay, Chase is not actually
Chase,
beneficial
I
to
have
this.
way more faith in you than this.
I mean, I don't think I bring many skills to the table for the whole group.
You would always know when they were coming, and you would come let everybody know.
Let my
You're just
people
trying
go.
to be
You'd be the
nice
positive.
Maggie for me. Yeah.
I-
Let me
you know,
wallow.
I'm
I
kind
just
of
love
with
you,
you
Chase.
there,
I don't want you to
Chase.
die.
I had a really hard time with the question
yeah.
because I don't think I have any like amazing survival skills.
You two would shoot the videos of my process to give instruction to everybody of what to do.
And I'd
We're
be
the
out there killing the
communicators.
zombies. It'd be a great
I don't
time.
Freshman would
know.
be standing behind us with the sword.
Or I don't know, I might surprise myself and be useful.
Surprise
I'm a-
yourself. That's your skill.
I'm a picky eater.
Oh God. Yeah, Avery's dead.
I'm not super strong.
All right, our next book for staff will be
You're smart.
Surviving the Zombie Apocalypse.
You could think through the
As
process.
a church staff.
I could be the like emotional support for everybody.
You
There
would.
you go. Be the
I make sure
therapist.
everyone's feeling okay.
If there's any time I'm leaving emotions behind, it's gonna be a zombie
With the-
apocalypse.
Well, then I'm just not.
We're avoiding that.
You could be the sacrifice. We'll push you off.
I'll die in
Bait.
good faith. I'll be the distraction while you guys.
But
get
she's
to
so skinny too,
escape.
though. Is she even good bait
Yeah,
for
they won't.
zombies?
They won't last.
Freckles and bones. I don't know.
Okay, I don't like this question anymore.
All right.
Thanks, Laura.
Time to number 3.
Laura.
Laura.
L-O-R-A.
God, I'm so sick of being corrected on Laura and Laura.
I say Laura all the
spelled,
time.
Both spelled the same way, and then
Well, her real name is Dolores.
Oh, that makes sense.
and she's how does she
Laura.
spell it?
Like, right. Okay, let's move on.
L-O-L-O?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
I don't
It
know. I'm
makes
sorry.
sense.
Yeah.
Priscilla,
Yeah.
if it's
Okay,
wrong,
I'm no
sorry.
longer
cartoon
angry.
character and
Yes.
why?
Processing.
Thank you. Favorite cartoon character and why?
Winnie the Pooh.
And okay, why?
Because
Define cartoon character.
because he is the most encouraging. Even when he's down, he's the best friend to have around.
See, you're
I read all
you're
the
Winnie the Pooh and I'm
books.
Eeyore.
Well,
you come
my
and make
favorite
sure I
happens
get.
to be Tigger.
Look at it,
Tigger.
So there we go.
All right, you're Piglet, Chase.
I don't think
Come
so.
on, little buddy.
I feel like I'm like
No, I'm
Grouchy
just
Rabbit
kidding.
or something.
Grouchy rabbit.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. Eeyore's not my favorite.
This is a hard
I'm
question.
surprised this is hard for you.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, my gut just wants to say Mickey Mouse because he's timeless.
Can you
and
talk like Mickey
awesome.
Mouse? Can you give your best impression?
Oh boy!
That was it. Just
Oh,
It's probably not
What
even
about
close.
Donald Duck? Can you do
I
Donald
can't.
Duck?
I can't. I've tried Donald Duck.
my
before.
dad can do Donald Duck. It's pretty
bet
good.
I feel like that's a very dad thing.
Yeah.
because my dad can.
If I sing a song super country, I can slowly get to Goofy, but I have to sing the song country first.
That's
I
very
discovered this over
specific.
quarantine.
next
Okay.
episode.
Oh wait, I guess
Jason's
Disney
singing.
princesses are cartoon characters
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I
I
really
didn't
do
even
love
think about that.
Cinderella and Ariel.
Ooh.
See, my immediate thought went to like the characters of Recess. Remember the Disney show?
yeah,
Doug
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. There's a lot of good characters in there.
I would have to say I do really love Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooby
And
Doo's a good
Scrappy
choice.
Doo.
No, I freaking hated Scrappy Doo. That's just annoying.
Let me at him.
Or Kim Possible.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought she was kind of awesome.
Wait, but why? For Scooby Doo.
Oh,
She-Go
right, for
was way
Scooby-Doo?
cooler than Kim Possible.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I just watched a lot of Scooby Doo as a kid, and I always liked it. I liked that it was just adventurous. They were solving crimes.
Because
and-
you always wanted a dog.
Probably I was no, Clifford is my favorite
The big red
cartoon
dog.
character.
You just changed 3 times. I bet they're all feeling hurt.
They're all dogs except for Kim
Dogs have
Possible.
feelings.
I know.
And donkeys. You said he
Did
was.
you come to
Donkeys.
your
I
show?
love animals.
Huh?
Actually,
you come to
Spirit.
your-
Spirit,
I'm going through every cartoon I know right
Spirit
now.
was my favorite. Actually,
Pokemon.
Spirit was your favorite.
I wasn't a big Pokemon kid.
Oh, you probably weren't allowed to play
gonna
it.
stop
I was not allowed.
Mm,
Yeah,
I
you know
know.
Karen well.
I don't know.
I couldn't watch SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, I didn't let my kids watch SpongeBob just because it was annoying.
That's
no,
I found that
SpongeBob is
out
so
later.
annoying.
I don't
We're
think we're
gonna-
talking about the question
We're
anymore.
gonna lose not characters, listeners over that.
I don't think many people listen to this segment anyway. It's fun.
Oh,
This is for us.
But if you do,
Thanks for staying with us. Is that the last question?
yeah.
That's how we ended it?
Well, did you
never
say you
named
had a
yours.
favorite
You didn't
cartoon
I
character?
said Mickey,
Mouse. That's what you're
And then
landing
I-
on.
Coco
Because-
Melon.
No. I need to show you what Rachel found the other day.
Does
Well, y'all don't
do
watch it
video
anyway.
games
That's
count?
fine.
No, we do
That
now.
counts.
Y'all do now?
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
not.
We got corrected.
All right. Is that
What'd you say? Video
is that
games?
it?
I don't think video games
Okay.
count.
is
Maybe, how about Tom?
and Jerry?
Tom and Jerry
I do love Tom and Jerry.
or just Tom?
No,
Just guess.
Tom, because I feel for him.
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked about on here my stance on Tom and Jerry
Yeah.
You have.
as a child versus an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's deep.
yeah.
It's really sad.
Wow.
All right.
Whoa.
Another segment.
recommend.
Yeah. Hey, you know what'll cheer us up? A nice jingle.
Recommends,
Recommends.
Ooh.
That was not it.
Notice he didn't ask us to sing.
I didn't even know it was just happening.
He pointed at me and I sang. I delivered.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was planned.
You only did 3. You've done it right before, though. I know you know it.
So,
Yeah. Thanks, Janice.
We recommend doing this not past 2:30.
We recommend coming out of AUA stronger next time so that you can be excited for recommends. Want, need, where, read. That's what
Janice.
That's what Janice said, and we thank her for it. I never showed you guys the video we sent her for her
Wow,
birthday.
look at this loop around
have to show
happening
us.
again. Recommend.
So,
Recommend.
what do we want?
All right, I'll go first. I'm really worried that I've recommended this before, but it's so good that if I have, you'll forgive me for it because I'm reminding you of it. The fun thing about it is that I've already talked about it on the podcast today. No slip shoes from Academy Sports and Outdoors. Best house shoes you'll ever have. I'm Googling currently while I talk so I can find the brand of them.
Is it BCG?
No,
Their brand?
no, it's not their brand. Brazos, 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 I think is what it
I
is.
love Jeff Brazos.
They sound as bad as they sounded the first time.
They're disgustingly ugly.
I bet
You've never
they
seen
are.
them before, have you?
Thank
Have you
goodness
seen them?
no.
Nope.
Have you seen them?
The non-slip shoes,
Yeah.
like the ones they wear in the restaurants.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah,
those.
yeah. I worked
But these are
a
slippers,
customer.
not little lace up stuff.
Oh, that's why I was making
Oh,
fun of
I
you.
was
Oh,
so
no, I
confused.
thought you were putting on
lace-up shoes
No,
at
no,
home.
no,
I
here.
was like,
I'll
why
show
are
you.
you
They look
walking around
kind of
in
like
these?
I think are these them?
What are they called? Brazos?
Those
Yeah.
are definitely
now
old man
I'm-
shoes.
okay, that
Those
makes a
are your
lot
old
more
man
sense.
shoes.
Oh,
Yes.
well, these aren't them. Did I buy the women's?
Brazos,
my gosh.
non-slip. We're all Googling
That would be really
this.
funny.
These?
Oh, wait, those are...
They look they
Those are
look
s-
more like
Okay,
this.
that makes more sense
These?
because I really thought you were talking about lace-up shoes. They
Those are them. Yay!
camera
they
zoom
look
in.
pretty bad.
Yeah, we'll get a nice zoom on that.
Those are
Old man shoes.
they're only $20.
$24.99.
Right? Like such a good deal.
Thanks for
I've had them for going on 2 years now, and nothing's wrong with them.
So they're your indoor shoes, but you actually wear them outside.
I
sometimes.
can wear them
you
outdoor
got
if I
them
need
because
to.
you can wear them outside.
Exactly. Yes.
Like
No.
in an emergency, you could run out.
Can you
Yeah, I've done it. I mean, like taking the trash out and stuff.
Can you wear them to church? I mean, to work tomorrow? I mean, we work at a church. I don't know why.
No, I can't.
Clarifier there.
But they're
No.
they're good for non-slip and
Yeah.
Exactly.
You-
Well,
so you
can't be
they're-
slipping.
They're kind of like underwear. Like you only really want your wife seeing you in them because she still accepts you. You know what I mean?
she makes fun of you.
Why? Behind my back?
Okay. Who's next?
Oh, okay. Need.
Megan.
Megan. Okay. So there is a store that everyone needs to go to, even if you don't love shopping.
Costco.
No, it's not Costco.
You
But
don't love
also-
shopping?
It is in San Antonio, but there's also one in Houston, and maybe they're all
Houston's
over the
way
country.
closer.
But anyways, it's called
Antonio's
Black
better.
Friday deals, and what they have are returned products that people ordered from Amazon or Target. Those are the two main places, and the prices are different every day, but they just have these bins full of things. So if you go in on a Friday, like we did, everything is $7. And you can Google it or pull it up on Amazon and see what it really costs. But I showed Chase this morning, I got a port for my computer, an adapter thing that was like $40 on Amazon for $7. So, but they
Space
had, I got a pack of Apple Watch bands. I got a full set of books for one of my old small group girls that's going to be a teacher now for her classroom. That was like a $80 set, and
Wow.
got it for $7. So they had everything. You have to be ready to jump on the bins because people are
I'm
watching
ready.
them.
That's what
Like they
scares me.
have security guards bringing the bins out, so
Oh, wait,
nobody
never
can touch
mind.
them until
Yeah,
they're
never
Oh, I
mind.
couldn't do that.
But as
do
soon as they
they-
step away, you're ready. You're just in there.
How did they get this stuff?
Just
like does
returned
Amazon
items.
just like,
I guess it's kind of like,
or is
a
that
dirt
whenever
sheep
it's
would
like
get it,
They
or-
stole
Amazon
it.
has lost your package?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
Because there were some packages that still had addresses on them.
Best part about losing your packages with Amazon is that sometimes it still shows up, but
And they
count it
still
as-
give you
and
the-
they give you another one.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
that's great.
So
Oh,
you need to go to that store. They have
Or
really
the
good stuff.
refund if
Yeah,
if you
I've
wanna
gotten
make
a
money.
refund, but it's still delivered. That's pretty awesome.
Or pretend like your order didn't come apparently and get a refund from Amazon. I don't know.
cheating.
Don't
No,
do
it
that.
tells you. It's like, we're sorry, your package is late.
All I'm doing
We are
is
not
just
recommending that, people.
Nope.
It's not stealing.
We
We,
were kind
just
of.
didn't inform them that they made a mistake.
Stealing. All right, where?
They sent it to me.
Reshma, what should we wear?
Okay, I should have included this with the what old person thing do I do. I have
I recommended
always,
a wear for a want. I'm so stupid.
Oh, well, we're on mine now, so here we are.
Oh,
Yours was a wear.
Frick.
Radical acceptance,
Dang.
Chase.
It's
No.
fine. It's fine.
Anyways, what I like to wear and what I've worn for years and been made fun of until it came back was a fanny pack. And you can wear
they're
them
coming back.
everywhere. They are coming back. Well, they kind of came back last year. I feel like they're kind of going away again, almost. I saw them at Plato's Closet, so I know people are getting rid of them because, you know, shop a lot. Anyways, but with a fanny pack, you can wear it in the airport if you want to just slip your passport and phone into it, or you can wear it when you're running your dogs to put your phone in. Am I selling it?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on an infomercial right now, but
Do
everybody
you wear it
made
on the
fun of me.
front or you loop it around back?
Front.
They're also
Because I don't want people to
Commitment.
be able to get to
I
the...
mean, even while running.
Yes, you didn't. Well, also, my fanny pack that I have for when I run also has 2 dog leashes, so I can run both of my dogs with it.
Did they ever yank you to the ground?
No, because that's what it's made for. They
It's center
lead
of gravity.
Me. Yeah.
Oh, No. Oh, they're mushing.
Yes,
Your
they're mushing.
snow dogs are mushing you
Yes,
around.
I did this in
Russ
the
Huskies,
snow.
if you didn't know.
Whoa.
Yes, it's a great time. Everybody needs a fanny pack, and don't come at me if you don't wear one and you think they're lame and old, because I am both of those things.
I don't think any. I feel like we're at the point now. If people try to do that, we shame them for being shamers.
I mean, I for
Idiots.
sure do, because I'm going to wear my fanny pack.
Yeah. Idiots.
All right, Avery, what should we read?
Probably something we should all
Shame
read,
and-
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Loving your neighbor.
Right.
If you resonated with this podcast, I have the book for you.
What if I didn't?
Then
Still have
Still
the book
read
to
it.
read
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's a book. It has been recommended to me by several people, and so I finally got it. It's called "The Body Keeps the Score," and what? Your face.
Oh, keep going.
And essentially, it's a book on trauma.
Oh.
And
oh,
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. And it kind of walks you through how trauma affects your brain, and your body, and then it kind of goes into the healing aspect of it, and it's an incredible book.
Who wrote it?
Oh,
Whoops.
but I was trying to avoid that.
Oh.
Bethel Van der Kolk, MD.
Yeah, there you go.
Emphasis
Thanks.
on the MD.
Yes. But it kind of it explains it in a sciencey way, but if you're not super sciencey like I am, it still makes
Given by
sense.
the fact you're saying sciencey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gathering that,
Like
yeah.
it was still interesting to me, and that's not really my area of
Expertise.
yes.
Easy.
And I mean, it's not a light read.
How many pages?
It has like, no, I don't want to turn people off to
It's
it.
pretty thick.
It is thick. It's
She thick?
it's about like
here we go.
400 pages.
Oh my gosh, I'd rather read Harry Potter.
No.
I
Were you
mean-
allowed to read that?
No, I was not.
But this helps you.
Yes, and even if you
Harry Potter
haven't
does it.
experienced trauma, it's just a great education tool. And like
Everybody
helping-
has trauma.
Yes.
You're an education tool.
Big
even
T,
look,
little T.
even if
That's
you
right.
think you haven't experienced
Yes.
trauma, read the book.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wait.
And yeah, the healing part in the back of the book is also really cool. I'm not quite through it, but it has been very helpful. And
It's a real Ben move you've done here, recommending a book you haven't finished.
but it's interesting. There have been a lot of things in there that I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel very understood right now, or like this. I'm learning things about myself. It's interesting.
So we got no slip shoes. We got shopping.
Fraud.
At cheap
Theft.
place.
It's not fraud.
No, we're fraud.
Chase.
Mine
We
was
got fanny packs and we got a thick book. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.